couple seconds because it always is delayed. And then I'll have 48 people in chat be like, it's not up yet. It's not up yet. It's like, just give it a second. Welcome, everyone. It's been so long since we've had a Gridiron Throne League cast of any sort of kind, and it is the one that everybody looks forward to. This is your Madden 21 team reveal, and I am pleasured with the guest stars of Mr. Steele. Steele, how you doing today? Steele, wondering how you're doing? Don't fuck up already. We'll skip you, Steele. Buck, here with me today. Buck, how you feeling today?
Oh, it's been quite the day. It's always exciting to get Madden kind of half rolling again, and no, it should be an awesome season. Looking forward to it.
And Steele, I'll give you another chance here. Steele, how you feeling today?
My bad. I was listening to the stream and not you, and I was tripped out. But I'm good. I'm a little drunk right now. We're good.
Perfect.
It's gonna be fun.
And then big shout out to Steele for the good lottery show we had this morning. Good job, Steele. Very good job. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Put in the hard work and then
Sorry, Bird.
$20 hairs. To be fair, that was my fault. I said Bird in the chat when it was actually Cowboys fan. What's his first name again, Buck? I know you know it.
Trevor. Yeah, he was having a mini heart attack there when he was called at whatever he was 3, and he's thinking he's supposed to be drafting 3, and his name's not being called. So yeah, there were some crazy moments there. I felt for him a bit.
We got it taken care of, thankfully. But there's some changes that have been going on in this league. In the off season, biggest one is that myself, CMass, has stepped down as commissioner of Gridiron Throne League. I know this. Most people won't even notice a difference, really. But the person taking my place is Mr. Starrbuck, who is here with us. And I just wanted to ask you, Starrbuck, with taking over the league and, obviously you have the ability now to make any sort of changes and stuff like that. So what can we expect in this new upcoming Madden? What kind of changes compared to the last 3 or 4 Maddens that we've had now?
Well, I guess first and foremost, I mean, the league was left in a pretty good situation. Your leadership has been excellent and you've done a great job. So it's really just taking over the reins and just kind of, driving that car down the road. So in terms of changes, we've talked with the admin. So Steele, he's one of the CMs in the league, as well as JB, and we still have a few advisors in there. CMass hasn't completely gone away. He's still an advisor with us, which is great. So we're talking about a few things. I guess I don't want to spend too much time on it, but a couple things we talked about. One being potentially moving Slack to Discord. So there's a lot of functionality with Discord, and I guess it's a lot better than Slack. So that's something that we really are monitoring to see if it's going to make sense for the league. We're thinking that it probably, is going to be a big advantage for everybody in terms of what we're doing. I hate change personally, especially when it comes to something like that, but I've been told by many people that Discord is a lot better. So, I mean, buckle up. We might be shifting into that. Any feedback's always good as well. So, after the stream, if you want to hit me up or hit up one of the CMs, just feel free to do that. Let us know how you feel. Uh, One other quick change, something kind of new. Yes, we are going to stay in comp mode for this year. I think we all agree that sim mode was just AIDS of Madden, so don't necessarily want to go down that road again. But we were looking at setting up a competition committee. So basically what that is that, every 4 weeks we're going to have a select few guys that look at game film, look and see what's going on with the games and the stats and doing some minor tweaks to the sliders and posting it in announcements, as like a content update. So, I know Excitebite, he really wants to have sim mode, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen. So, but yeah, so we're looking at a few things. So, if you have a role, if there's something that you'd like to see done with the league, keep in mind this is your league. This is all of our league. It's not, any one person's league. So, yeah, if there's something you want to see done to it, just feel free to hit us up and say, listen, this is what we want to do, or this is something that I'd like to see, and we'll definitely maybe put it into the works. So. Lots of changes. I think it's going to be for the best. And like I said, yeah, let's get rolling with this reveal. I think everybody's been waiting all day for this.
There is a channel for rule suggestions. You can always put it in there.
I don't know if it still
Absolutely.
exists anymore unless I just dropped out of it. But anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So let's go ahead and break it down a little bit for you. A bunch of feedback in the chat as far as some people saying Slack a lot better. Some people saying Discord's a lot better. I guess we'll find out. Big shout out to Aflo1993 with the follow. I appreciate it. This is how the breakdown is going to work. First off, obviously, I'm the one that had to listen to everything, so I know what teams are which. Starrbuck also knows. I gave him time to prepare for talking points, so he also knows. But Steele, who's in here, has no idea who has what team. So everything, his reactions will be pure and off the cuff. So he'll be reacting just like you guys will. So big shout out to Steele for, being unprepared,
Not being ready.
yeah, for being not being ready. So a lot of people in chat saying Steele's predictions are usually correct, which is
Right.
obviously not true. But let's go ahead and jump into it.
25%.
I'll jump to the next screen, and then we'll just kind of explain how it's going to work for y'all. All right. So we're going to go division by division, alphabetical order. Okay. As far as the divisions are concerned. So first one up is AFC East, and so on and so forth. Okay. You see each team there. So we will go individually by team. You will see your name appear over the team. So in this example, person who has the Jets will appear on the Jets here shortly, and then we'll go Dolphins, and then we'll go Bills, and then we'll go Patriots in that exact order in the screen on every single one, so you know what's coming next. Okay, so we can go ahead and jump right into this. All right, there's a little bit of controversy here. I pulled an executive decision. I didn't appreciate somebody giving leaks. So Justin originally had the number 1 pick, but because he was leaking, he dropped to number 32. Which, let's just go ahead and start it off with this New York Jets team. I'm just kidding. It's actually Black David who gets the New York Jets. Now, I do want to also explain, you'll see the number 31 next to their name. That is the spot that they were selected. So, Black David, New York Jets, first team revealed in Madden 21. Starrbuck, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the Jets have some good pieces. Black David, I don't remember him playing a lot of his games last year. I think he had a lot of sim games, so maybe we'll see a new Black David, reborn in this Madden and see what he can do with the Jets.
Black David, that's a dude I brought in. We used to play back in our old league. He's not a bad user, but he's got to play his games. That's about it. Yeah, he kind of came in and didn't really play too many.
Black David, we'll see how he does this time around. But like you said, didn't play a whole lot of games last time. But when he did, he's a pretty solid user. I've heard that he's better than when he's played with us, so we'll see. But that would be the New York Jets. The next team would be the Miami Dolphins, which was a hot team. But they did fall down to my brother, my twin, Samoan boy, with the 13th pick. gets the Miami Dolphins. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
He loves Tua.
This
My bad.
was painful. I mean, every part of me feels like a traitor here at this point, but no, Samoan, I mean, that cheesy bastard is absolutely going to love the Dolphins. Tons of rookies, tons of youth. Tua, I mean, we seen what he did with his boy Tyree or whatever and Oakland, so I don't know. He should have fun with the Dolphins. Young team, should be a good team for him.
I want to call you out. Weren't you
No,
the
you
10th
don't.
pick? What?
I might have been.
You passed on your favorite team?
Mm.
I
Ugh.
think my
You're just
Excel
so
sheet
upset about last
skipped.
year.
I think my Excel sheet. You know what? I won a Super Bowl with them. It's time to move on. All right, it's time to move on.
Who was in the division with you when you won that Super Bowl?
Ugh. I got
Bunch of
screwed on the
plugs.
goal line. I don't want to talk about it. I still remember that play. Ugh.
All right, so Samoan boy with the 13th pick is the Miami Dolphins. Let's go ahead and move on to the Buffalo Bills. And if you haven't done so already, please follow the stream. And hell, if you want to subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you have Twitch Prime, you go ahead and link it. You get a free subscription every month. Feel free to use it on me. I'd really appreciate it. Let's move
Hey, I
on
had
to...
that. You got to show me how to do it.
So in the top right hand corner of everyone's screen, there's a little crown. The little crown you can actually link, and you have to do it on desktop. I don't think you can do it on mobile, but there'll be a crown that you can click, and you can link your Twitch account, or sorry, your Prime account, Amazon Prime account. You just put in your credentials, and then you'll have a free sub. And there it is with
Picks in an ad.
Cam giving me the first sub of the stream. Cam, I really appreciate
Wow.
you. Ironically, Mr. Cameroon is probably about to tune out because he just got himself the Buffalo Bills with the
No,
23rd
he didn't.
overall selection. Cameron, exciting bike with the sub and with the Bills. Buck, your thoughts?
What?
I honestly, when I seen the list, I was going down, and when I seen this pick, I just can't help but just shit myself when I saw it, because all of the shit talk about Mr. Allen and how putrid he is, I just can't believe. I mean, maybe he'll bench him. I don't know. I don't know what he'll do.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty funny pick. Crazy, but crazy things happen. So
Well, I did see that you picked them 23rd overall, so yeah, I won't give you on that. But Josh Allen, controlled by Cam. There's nothing better. There's just nothing better. I love this.
Oh.
And Samoa and Cam in the same division again. You
Yes.
just can't get away from them. That's rough.
yeah, it's gonna be I think it'd be a fun division.
That is
For
fun.
sure.
Also, I gotta say, Buzz told us we had 2 picks and then an ad. Is that what's gonna happen this whole time, CMass?
So if you're not a subscriber and you tune in, you get an ad. So.
He means like how to subscribe to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every division we're going through, it works because I got another subscription from
You got
Zach.
2, yeah.
I really appreciated Zach with the subscription. Big shout out to Zach PE10, who's been in the league for a while. You did not have the Patriots though, so I won't go ahead. It wasn't good timing like Cam. Cam did say that Josh Allen is available for Steele. So I know Steele that you have a big love affair with Josh Allen. Turns out he might be available for you.
Depending on my team, I'm definitely looking.
Depending on the team, you might be looking. All right, let's go ahead and move to the Patriots. And I got to zoom into my screen because I almost forgot who it was. Okay, perfect. So the next team is somebody that joined us last year, another big Ravens fan, but happened to leave midway through the season. That would be Mr. Osborne, gets the New England Patriots with the 17th overall pick. The Patriots. Starrbuck, what do you got for me?
I mean, I don't know much about Oz. I have a feeling that he's, a decent user. I could be wrong, but when I looked at this division with Samoan, Cam, Oz, Black David, it should be a fun division. It should be refreshing. Should be good. I think it's a good division. It's tough. I don't know. Good, solid division.
That's an insane division. Honestly, if Black David can come back, he was a playoff user, like I said in my other league. This is gonna be a bloodbath of a division. And luckily now there's 7 playoff teams, but Oz I know he likes to run the ball, play it safe. You know, he plays really good defense where the Patriots have the great defense. Gilly on the outside has literally every great ability with, I think, 99 man, 97 zone, 99 press. He's going to be a monster over there, I think. This is a great team for Oz to build up and use.
Yeah, this is a fantastic division. We'll talk more about divisions towards the end of the show when we come up with predictions for division winners. Chat, pretty excited about this division. Oz pretty much just said it perfectly. He said with his Cam was MLO. Ocho thought he got Pats. He did not. And then Simone with the Jesus Cam, just leave me the alone. Perfect options here. All these were actually top picks except for Black David, who I think this was his 18th selection on his list was the Jets. So kind of a little bit of a fall, but everybody else on this, I believe, was top 10.
So the number is where they were.
The number is where they were in the draft. So where they got that team.
That's not the team they. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what their team ranking was.
No. Nope. Those are where they were drafted.
Gotcha.
Good listening skills. I mean, I went over at the beginning, but that's perfectly fine. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, poor Bird. He says 2 years, no fans. Oh, Oz has also been here for 3 years, so he's a little upset that Buck is just like, I'm not sure who he is. Anyway.
See, I never played against Oz, so that's why it just, never occurred to me. Quick tidbit: Oz, that was the 4th team on his list.
Yeah.
Looking at the Cam, that was the 10th team on his list. And then what else do I got here? Black David, yeah, like you said earlier, he was a little bit down, but again, he got him. And who was the other team? The Dolphins. That was the 2nd pick on Oose's list. So you got your teams. That's what it's all about.
They got their teams. And speaking of teams, let's move forward to this AFC North division.
Let's go.
Starting with the Browns in the top left-hand corner. The team that's going to go ahead and take over this Browns team with a ton of talent is going to be your new commissioner, Mr. Starrbuck, with the 9th overall selection. Gets the Cleveland Browns. Starrbuck, what are your thoughts about your new team?
I kind of can't believe they dropped to me. I was thinking that my list was probably going to go down a little further, but I don't know. I wanted to try a new team. They got a bunch of young guys, good defense, good young quarterback. And I just figured, you know what? Let's make the Browns relevant. So go Browns.
That's a great team to be in, number 9. They were even in my top 10, and I hate the Browns. But, you can't go wrong. Denzel Ward and Greedy, Myles Garrett. You got Baker, OBJ, 2 running backs. They're stacked all across the board. So, 2 great tight ends. You have a lot of trade potential. I think you starting off with a really good team is going to be bad for the rest of your division.
It's going to be horrible.
See how it goes.
Horrible. Horrible. All right.
Chat pretty much in agreement that this is a good pick for you. Great young talent team. Let's see what else is going on in the chat right now.
We have another commissioner from another league.
Yeah, the commissioner for Better League wanted to say that Samoan is a bitch ass. Don't appreciate that. That's my twin. You want to jump in there with that? Well, let's see what Samoan has to say back to him eventually. But great choice by Mr. Starrbuck. And then 3 Mac comes in and said, hopefully the list I made in 5 minutes doesn't me up. So let's move on to
chugging it truly for you, Alex.
Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team may be cheating for Josh Allen soon because I think that the user that received him was Mr. Steele with the 16th pick. Gets his team, his namesake, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Starrbuck, again, start with you. What are your thoughts?
He's just gonna be super excited to finish 2nd in the division every month, every season. It's Steelers. He's got a good team. Got a good young team. I think Steelers are your favorite team, or one of your favorite teams, anyways. So it's fun playing with your favorite team. It's good. Should be a good battle. I kind of wanted to get away from you because I like playing new people all the time, but nonetheless, it's going to be another another battle of a season, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. When I saw you got Browns, I thought there was a pretty good chance that, knowing my own list, that I would be the Steelers and we'd be back in the same division. Not too upset about it. I'm just kind of, I like you said, playing different people. So, being in your division, playing in the same AFC with Samoa and Cam is gonna be just not bad, but I just kind of want to play different people, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. I love having the Steelers at least, once every few seasons. And Madden, their defense is crazy good. I think that they got underrated, but hoping before then we get a little few bumps. We might be calling Buffalo for a quarterback soon.
How committed are you to Ben Roethlisberger starting the season?
100%. Real life and in there.
Until he has a better option. Ben
He's a Hall of
Roethlisberger's
Famer.
All right, Steele gets his team at pick 16. Let's go ahead and move on to the Bengals. Chad is pretty quiet about this. The only person that said anything about you being Steelers is Steelers. From Mr. Minty, although Agent of Doom did say good thing for Steele, there are 3 wildcard teams now. Which is tough because the last division just had 3 teams that could easily be playoff teams with Cam, Oos, and Oz. And then who knows with Black David. So let's go move on with this Bengals team. This is a team, or a user at least, that is somebody that I'm not that familiar with. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this one up to Starrbuck. But Mr. Anthology gets the Cincinnati Bengals at the 27th pick. Starrbuck, tell us about your boy.
Yeah, so me and Anthony had a lot of battles. It would have been 3 Maddens ago. I was introduced into Madden franchise, so him and Ace, shout out to both of them. But yeah, Anthology just had twins, I believe. He just had twins the other day, so congrats on that. And basically you get the second best quarterback in this year's draft on the Bengals, so that's good. It's a good starting, good building block. And yeah, I mean the Bengals have they're a pretty lousy team, but I think you'll enjoy them and he'll do what he can with them. So
Yeah, I mean the Bengals are honestly a scrappy team. I'm surprised he got him at 27th. I'd like to see what his ranking was for them, but like I said, I don't know anything about him. Is he a good user? He said he's like Ace, so are we gonna be worrying about another cheeser in our division?
yeah, he's good.
Shots
he's
fired.
good.
Okay.
Anthology, it was the 18th team on his list. So
Nice.
when you're looking at everything, I mean, yeah. But he also had the Dolphins as the last. Like, fuck.
Right.
That's bad.
It's how you should be. They're kind of terrible. But I mean, yeah, you got superstar Joe Burrow. You have tons of receivers. We saw what Kumar did with the worst team last year, and he made them playoff bound every year. I think depending on who the Ravens is, though, I mean, that's a team that you could definitely build up and challenge Starrbuck for second place.
Well, speaking of the Ravens, and chats, a lot of people don't know Anthology that well, and so not a lot of stuff going on about the Bengals here. So we'll go ahead and move on to the Ravens. He actually mentioned Ace a few minutes ago, and Ace is not going to be taking over the Ravens. Is actually instead going to be the same person who was the Ravens last year, and that would be Mr. Zach PE10, who subscribed earlier in the chat with the 5th overall pick, gets the Baltimore Ravens. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
Zach, why is he first?
He's prepared.
I'm just surprised. I'm surprised that the Ravens fell to this pick. When you look at the other teams that could have picked the Ravens, I mean, everybody's got a boner for Lamar Jackson, and I mean, they should, right? He's probably the best, mobile cheesing quarterback that you can have in Madden. So, but obviously, Zach, he loves the Ravens, I think. But yeah, he's going to need every bit of them in this division if he's going to want to compete. So should be good. He's a good user. He's fun. I played him a couple times. He's talented, good. Just has to minimize the mistakes. So I think this division's good. Maybe one of maybe a weaker division in my opinion, but it should be a competitive, fun division. Should be a good division.
Yeah, I agree with Starrbuck. I think Zach if he can get his offense down, his defense is pretty good. Lamar, you need to know obviously how to use him and if he's going to use him on the run plays. And he obviously got Hollywood to an X factor last year. So I agree with you guys. I'm surprised they fell, but outside of Lamar, this isn't like a super scrappy team for a comp league where maybe cornerback doesn't matter as much, and that's one of their big strengths on defense. I mean, outside of Lamar, you got J.K. Dobbins to dev up in Hollywood. There's not much else in my opinion, especially with the user nerf not being able to use Queen as much.
And we'll see if that continues to be a trend. But that was the biggest feedback in the beta about issues being with users having a hard time using linebackers. But congratulations to Zach getting the same team 2 years in a row, his favorite team. Everybody's pretty pissed because they're saying the Ravens are going to be ruined 2 years in a row. I wouldn't necessarily dispute that. Doom says he'll be in the inbox for Zach soon to go ahead and make another trade for Lamar Jackson. I don't know if that's going to happen again.
Zach, you excited? I told you had a chance to your Ravens.
You did. You actually got this one right, I think, right?
Yeah, this was one of my 7. I mean,
No.
I knew mine.
It was Zach's first pick, so that was the first team that he wanted. The Browns was my 5th team, so top 5. Can't argue with that. Steel, they were your 6th team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite team, and they were your 6th team.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. Pretty sellout there, but anyways.
I figured I'd get them at any point, so that's kind of why they're a little lower. I didn't want to get them if I was a top 5.
I feel you. All right.
Fair. It's fair.
Wow, there's a lot of
You're not
faith
going to mention
in
Bengals?
the Ravens faithful.
Yeah, everybody's...
And Bengals, yeah, like I said, Bengals 18th pick. Obviously, Anthology can't be overly upset with that pick, given the fact that he only had 1 ball. So, getting the Bengals,
could be
right
worse.
in the middle of this.
I feel like as long as you didn't get
no
offense to the other teams, but there's 4 teams that I absolutely would not want. Bengals aren't one of them, so you got lucky.
Hashtag pray for Lamar trending in the chat right now. Let's go ahead and move on to the AFC South division here. 2 really good divisions so far in the AFC, so let's see if this division can stack up with those. No hoot hike, Alex. Don't worry about him. He's not in this league anymore. Let's move on to the Titans here. Noah's Ark, who was the Jaguars last season, gets them at the 28th pick. Noah's Ark 13. 28th selection gets the Tennessee Titans. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I like the Titans. I like their team. I'm surprised that 28 they fell all the way down there. There's a lot of other shitty teams that could have been taken. Titans are good. Ryan Tannehill, future Hall of Famer, ex-Miami Dolphin. He's good. They got a good team. And Noah's Ark in regards to a user, he plays all his games. He responds quickly. I like that. So, he's a good user. Yeah, should be good. Good little team there.
Yeah, I had the Titans in a few Maddens ago when all their players were rookies like Adoree Jackson. I think it was when they had Rashawn Evans and
Corey Davis,
Harold Landry. Yeah, like Corey Davis, all those guys. I mean, that's a really good young team. I know they're all going to have to get re-signed. But luckily Derrick Henry took a pretty cheap deal for, I mean, maybe not for running backs, but he took a pretty decent team deal. AJ Brown, like there's a lot of players on this team, on the Titans team, that you can work with or trade to get, pretty decent value. I think at 28, the Titans are, pretty decent team to have.
It's about that time for an ad. There's 34 viewers in here, and I appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit that follow button. 34 viewers right now. Yeah, there's a little thing on the screen that tells you that the viewers, the little bottom next to the subscriber button, little 34. So feel free to go ahead and follow the stream. If you haven't done so already, and if you want to subscribe, feel free to do that as well. Let's go ahead and move on to
my boy.
Yeah, please.
Gotcha.
Let's move on to the Indianapolis Colts. This is a user I'm a big fan of, a fellow streamer as well, and that's going to be Crazy Cody with the 22nd pick. Gets the Indianapolis Colts. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
For Cody's game, Cody likes to run the ball, and yeah, they have a good offensive line, decent young running backs. I believe they got Jonathan Taylor, did they not, in the draft?
They did.
Um,
Yep.
so I think that kind of really suits his game style, and the fact that he's got Philip Rivers, who's trash and
Yeah.
probably will retire next year. Yeah, he should have fun with that team. They got a lot of young pieces, and yeah, should be good for him.
I absolutely do not get the love for the Colts. It is crazy to me that anybody would take them higher than 30. They're terrible. I don't know anybody on the Colts. I don't get it. I mean, Darius Leonard, he got, bumped down to what, like an 87 or something like that. He was 94, superstar X Factor last year. Their secondary is terrible. So I just don't know what's exciting about the Colts.
Yeah, I just think they have a great offensive line. Do they not have like one of the top 5 or top 10 offensive lines in football?
For sure. Yeah. If
Uh,
not the best.
yeah, they have a great offensive line. Quentin Nelson is probably the best left guard in football. I mean, he's amazing. Uh, you probably don't have a lot of love for the fat guys, but they need loving too. So
I just don't
Steele's a
think
chubby
O-line
chaser. Don't lie to
matters.
you. So, chat, pretty excited for Cody getting this. A lot of crazies in the chat. I think this was Cody's one of his like top teams, and Starrbuck will get to that towards the end of this division. But good job to Cody getting a team that he was really high on. I like the Colts as well. Big shout out to Alex Goss with the subscription, gifted sub to, ironically, 3Mac. So 3Mac can watch me as much as he wants now. So big shout out to Alex, and then Oswaldy Oz with the follow. Really appreciate it. Let's move on to the Houston Texans. Texans get the team that he plays his games, but damn, it's hard to get a hold of him sometimes. That's going to be Mr. Greg Time with the 12th overall pick. Gets the Houston Texans. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I mean, the Texans, if they didn't blow up their team and trade away Hopkins and trade away all their draft picks and do all this stuff, I definitely think the Texans would have been a higher pick. I think the part that Greg Time is going to love with this team is Deshaun Watson does have escape artists, and he's got a bunch of other abilities. So knowing Greg Time, the cheesy user that he is, he's probably going to escape artists left and right as much as he possibly can. So I think he'll enjoy this team, but I guess it just depends on how healthy Deshaun Watson can stay. So good team for Greg Time. Should be a tough division. I know Greg doesn't get a lot of love, but yeah, he's won a few Super Bowls in his day, and so maybe we'll get Greg Time, rejuvenated, into this cycle and see what he can do.
I mean, Deshaun Watson and Brandon Cooks is a pristine connection. I just want everybody to know that. I think if he can get that down, then this is going to be, a pretty good passing offense. Plus, you have Will Fuller out there, who I'm pretty sure still has 94, 95 speed. I don't think the Texans, though, they weren't really high on my list just because of all the holes. I'm pretty sure they have their first round pick this year. I don't know if it got
They don't have
they
it.
traded away.
Miami's got it this year.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not that much to look forward to. I hope somebody good has the Jags, or Cody is going to run away with this division.
Good choice by Greg Time. I like Deshaun Watson, obviously. Why are you laughing? I didn't even say a joke. Greg Time. Okay.
You know what else I'm mad about? All these people talking about the Colts. They have an O-line and 3 running backs. Whoever uses more than 1 running back in Madden? That's all these dudes are bums. That's why they don't make the playoffs. Alex, bum.
Oof.
Oz, bum.
Oof.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Steele with the hot takes. Well, moving on from the Colts, we were actually on the Texans, and Texans with, I think, got a good team. I mean, they did trade away DeAndre Hopkins for, a bag of Frito-Lays or whatever, but still got a solid team, still got escape artist. Greg Time's a solid user. So let's move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars here, and this user took a big fall, tied for the second most balls, fell all the way to pick 24.
I knew you had that.
Mr. CMass, that's myself with the
Good.
Jacksonville
Thank
Jaguars.
God.
It's going to be a battle of the streamers against the Colts, Mr. Cody. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
This is going to be one interesting division. when I seen this, I seen Cody, Greg Time, old Jags user and Titans, and then yourself. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be one really good division. I feel like, if you guys can kind of cripple Cody a little bit, I feel like any three of you guys could potentially win this division. So I guess my big question, and again, you can answer this after Steel, but I mean, what compelled you to take the Jaguars? Like it just,
I
I mean,
I
Steel
I will
probably knows the
say
answer.
I think whenever in the BL draft when the user took the Jags early, I think it was like 7th or 8th pick. They started
Ninth.
naming off a bunch of young players, and it kind of got CMass hyped. I mean, CJ Henderson, who got drafted after Okuda, has pretty much the same or better attributes than him. You have Clavon, you have 4 great receivers. If you want to worry about Minshew mania, Fournette's still serviceable. They still have, I think, if you care about O line, 2 or 3 good O linemen. Miles Jack's still there. They have Josh Allen. It's a pretty solid young team that you're going to get to use for a pretty long time, for a really long time. If Cody picked a better team, Cody was going to run this division. But I think CMass has a chance to win this the first year.
wow.
Thanks, Steel. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jaguars. There's just a few names that he's already mentioned, but CJ Henderson. I don't know what he did to EA to get his ratings, but he has like 3 or 4 more speed and acceleration than Akuda. Has
I think he's
superstar
93
ability.
speed.
Yeah, 93
He's
speed.
93, like 94 excel.
Yeah, he's got crazy stats, and he's 6'1". So really excited for Henderson. They also got Kavlon Chase on, whatever his stupid name is, but he's super fast off the edge. Josh Allen, Miles Jack, Juwan Taylor, Minshew Mania. I mean, hello, DJ Chark, Leonard Fournette has 93 speed. I have no idea why, but he's got 93 speed. So pretty excited about this team. Excited to play Cody.
Pretty high for you, huh?
I had them
Were
at
they pretty high
9.
for you?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I figured top 10.
I had them.
Yeah,
I think it was
when
9.
I'm looking at the teams, this is one of the divisions that probably had the highest favoritism towards the teams they got. So, Greg Time, this was his 4th pick. Cody, I think it was his 3rd, behind the Ravens and Chiefs.
Chiefs, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, and the Jags,
Those
yeah, it was
Rams.
your 7th, I believe, and the Titans was the highest one. It was the 11th, but I mean, there was a lot of teams that he took ahead. Like he took the Titans. There was a lot of teams on his list, like the Bucks and stuff, that fell that he didn't even want. So he wanted the Titans, so he got his team.
Oz said he made a Super Bowl every Madden. You didn't make a Super Bowl this Madden, did you?
If he did, it was
No.
maybe the first season.
No.
No.
Either way, he's
Yeah.
been very competitive. So, I mean, Oz, prove him wrong. Prove him wrong.
Hot takes.
You're in a tough division to do it, but I believe in you, brother. Let's go ahead and move on. And we got some people in the chat saying AFC's stupid stacked already. I agree. There's a ton of good users so far, but the whole league's full of good users. Let's move on to the AFC West, starting off with the first team, which is the Denver Broncos. And we actually have a video submission from the user. I gave special permission.
Oh, no.
I gave special permission for this user. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at this video for his team selections. Put it up on the screen for you here.
Oh god.
The Seahawks went to the Super Bowl the second season? I don't even remember. You're gonna get booted. I love it. All those subs for no reason.
All right, what do we got here? All right, so we got Denver Broncos this year. I know everyone thought I was gonna go with the New York Giants, but figured to change things up in my 4th year. Got a nice little team. Got Drew Lock, some Philip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon's new. Got that boy Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver. Should be fun. Don't pass a whole lot, so he'll probably be wasted. Some good tight ends. Noah Fant, pretty fast. Not Evan Engram, but he's 89 speed. Jake Butt, Michigan, go blue. Pretty decent defense. Von Miller, 97 overall. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, had like 3 minutes to throw this video together, so
It's because you
not as high
procrastinated,
quality as
Minty.
it was in the past, but could probably turn it off now. I think this is just 3 more minutes of highlights. I'm not gonna keep talking. Just enjoy.
Damn, oh my God! How long is? All right, I'm sorry, Minty. We're not gonna watch the whole thing of highlights here. I think unless you got some at the end that you saved for. Nope. All right.
Oh my.
I will post that in the chat later for you if you want to watch it. But needless to say, Mr. Minty with the Denver Broncos with his video submission with the 10th overall pick gets those Broncos. Buck, your thoughts?
We're gonna have a new Broncos user. I'm predicting probably midway through the second season.
Oh no, the disrespect.
No, Minty's fun. I want him to stick around. I want him to gut it out. Obviously he had the Broncos pretty high, which he got them. So, I mean, if I quickly go through it here, the Broncos was his second team. So I don't know who on the Broncos he's in love with, but obviously he loves the Broncos. So, I mean, shit, if you got your second team on your list with the 10th pick, then I think you're in for a good you're in for a good season. And it was the second team, Minty. It's not your third favorite team. Okay. Anyways, go Broncos. I like the Broncos. Good young team. Lots of X factors everywhere.
I love the Broncos. I think the AFC West is stacked though. I think because the other teams are really good. But yeah, like you have his name's escaping me. The other receiver that they have, obviously not Judy,
Courtland
Cortland Sutton. Yeah.
Sutton. Yeah, Sutton. Him. You have two running backs. You got a young quarterback in Locke. That if you don't like him, draft another one. Fant. That offense is set from the beginning. I think they have a bunch of older DBs that eventually are going to need replaced, and Von Miller's, I don't know how long he's going to last for Madden 21, but you have a good solid starting core. It's just going to be who is in this division for Minty to make any noise. I just think last year when you had the most cheesiest running back in Saquon, and if you couldn't make the playoffs with him, I don't know how it's going to be depending on these other users.
Minty very happy with this team. I had the Broncos very high as well. And then they also still have Brett
KJ Hamlin.
Brandley Chubb. Yeah, KJ Hamler, who Doom mentioned. Very fast rookie. So that'd be a good addition there. Justin Simmons, who's a good free safety superstar.
Oh yeah, Justin.
So it's a good team. Good team. Minty's predicting that Cite, Ace, and Doom will be in this division. No, I don't think so. Let's go ahead and move on to the Raiders.
Who's Lunica again? I can't remember.
Lunica's Ryan, I think.
Is that Ryan? Okay, I thought so. And who's Prophet? Is that 3-Mac?
Prophet's 3-Mac. Buck, you're about to say something?
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Cool. Moving on to the Raiders. Oos didn't get him, so there's only one other Raiders fan, and that's Mr.
Ace.
JB with the sixth. Oh, yeah, I guess Ace is
nice.
no, Ace is a Jets fan. Anyways, sixth overall
like
pick. JB dude gets the Raiders, his favorite team. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
JB should love that team. I think they're pretty similar to the Browns. I mean, he had the Browns last year, so Raiders have a bunch of young talent there, and I think he'll enjoy the Raiders. If he can do anything that Oos did there, then I think he'll be good. I think that's a good team. Obviously, the Raiders. When I'm looking through the lists, the Raiders was probably a top 10 pick on almost everybody's card. Everybody wanted the Raiders, so good team. I think JB will like them. Even if he didn't get to hand select the Raiders like he wanted to, he got them no matter what. So there it is.
Popping a cold one for JB.
I like the Raiders, but I'm just not sold on their defense. I mean, Colin Farrell, I don't know what happened to him, but I mean, their offense is. Ruggs obviously is going to be the next, Tyreek Hill, whatever. He's a beast. Josh Jacobs got bumped crazily to 88. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's an 88 or whatever, and Kyler Murray's like a 77, which makes no sense to me. Mariota will be a good quarterback. I just, I don't know. I mean, I guess because he's their fan, I would take them that high, but to me, they're not that good. So yeah, I knew him or
Wow.
Samoa was taking him. That's all.
Minty says he's gonna go ahead and up JB this year. Free Max says 6-0 to 6-10 again. That is the JB way. JB says that Minty's not even on his radar. Samoan's okay with the Raiders going to JB, and I agree with you. Said Henry
Chiefs.
Ruggs gonna be a cheat code. Derek Carr's still solid. Jacobs really good. Should be a good team.
Yeah, the
Darren
offense is
Waller's a good
great.
tight end.
Yeah.
Should be a good team.
Samoan says Steele sucks at Madden.
Yeah.
It
Facts.
is what it is.
Facts.
Ask him who came in with the Chiefs and crushed his Raiders. Madden 19.
We're talking about Madden 19, bro. We're talking about Madden 21. Let's talk about the Madden 21 Chiefs. This team fell, in my opinion, not very far, not as far as another league that I'm in, but they fell to the 7th overall pick. And for those that remember who the 7th overall pick is, somebody that's good at cards, Mr. Ace, gets the Kansas City Chiefs with the 7th overall selection. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
My mind is blown. It just absolutely blown that the Chiefs fell this far. I mean, I'm not going to ruin it for the top teams that could have taken him, but you guys seriously fucked this one up. Ace, he gets arguably another really good team with the best quarterback, which I know he won't waste Mahomes like other people did in past Maddens, but yeah, I think he'll. I don't know. This is a good team for him. I think it's good team, good young team. Yeah, he won't be able to trade Mahomes. That's for sure. He's going to be stuck as a Chief. So should be good. I like it. Good pick for him. And obviously anybody who gets the Chiefs is, jumping up and down. So
Another a reason why I was afraid to take the Broncos. Not afraid, but I had the Broncos a little lower because I figured the Chiefs and Chargers are going to be pretty high up them. Somebody good gets them, but Ace has his offense probably the whole CFM. I don't see anybody. Mecole Hardman, Watkins, Tyreek. Those three guys are going to be amazing. I don't know how long Kelsey's going to last. Mahomes, obviously. Again, the defense is the only reason I can see the Chiefs slipping a little bit. What do they have? Just Chris Jones and Honey Badger, but it's great for Ace. He gets his offense from day one, and that's insane. That's a crazy good user with another really good team.
Minty's already waving his wig.
Yeah,
flag.
he's gonna whoop his.
That's crazy though. There's a lot of the same teams in the same divisions again. This is so stupid.
Yeah, it's weird how that works out that way, but it is what it is. Samoan says Ace is a cheater. Oof, that's interesting.
Wow.
Ocho saying
That's
Justin Chargers ? We'll find out here shortly.
Yo, Samoa, square up, bro.
Yeah, he's
Let's go.
saying Steele's a pussy.
You and Oz. Try to run it up, Oz. What you got no offense over there. What are you gonna use? Jason
Hey,
Stidham?
maybe Starrbuck will allow you to get run up
the
on.
out of here. Get the
Watch your profanity.
Let's go ahead and move on to the Los Angeles Chargers. Really wanted to say San Diego, but the Los Angeles Chargers. And one more thing I say before we move forward. Samoan was mentioning fake fans having Raiders so high, and then in comes Bird. Complaining that he took the Dolphins from him. Anyways, moving on to Los Angeles Chargers. In my opinion, this is the biggest fall of any team. I cannot believe that they lasted this far. This person doesn't deserve this team. We always say Ocho, and here he is with the Los Angeles Chargers with the 20th selection. Gets the Los Angeles Chargers. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
fuck Ocho.
How many? Okay, no, Ocho. This is just a singular team that he's in this league. Okay. Wasn't sure if yeah. So, anyways, the Chargers. I honestly don't think the Chargers are that good of a team. I really don't. I don't see the hype in them. Yeah, they have Derwin James and But honestly, aside from that, I just don't think they're that great of a team.
Mm.
Really don't. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, in real life this season, I really don't see them even making the playoffs. Like they might be one of the 10 worst teams in the NFL this year.
Woo.
And Herbert's trash. I mean, I guess from a Madden perspective, having Herbert is probably good because he's a good young quarterback. But yeah, I just don't see a lot of hype. I see what you're saying they dropped, but there's another team, two teams specifically that I thought dropped even worse than the Chargers that are better than the Chargers.
Steel,
So-
educate the man.
Yeah, he's dumb. That's why I'm
Well,
gonna
okay,
beat
I
him
wasn't
every-
saying all that.
You have what? Casey Hayward, Desmond King.
Oh, Desmond
You
King.
have
Derwin,
Joey Bosa. You have Uchenna Nwosu.
Derwin, and James.
Derwin James. You have what's the other edge rusher that they have? Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram, yeah.
You have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
Hunter Henry.
This team is great. Hunter Henry.
Austin
This is a
Eckler.
top 10 team.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're so
actually-
great. They've won so many playoff games in the last.
But that
how
doesn't
many
matter.
years?
No, it's Madden, bro. It's Madden.
I get that. I get
But
that. I
this
just,
is
I just don't think they're that good.
Jatavis Brown. That's still, if user comes back, you have Jatavis Brown who's probably 86, 87, 88 speed. It's just this is a really good team, and Ocho got very lucky to get them. I can't believe that.
And Justin Herbert,
lasted
the EA was all over him. He got amazing stats for a rookie quarterback, probably the best, other than Joe Burrow. So great
Yeah.
stats. Great pick for Ocho, who's in shock that he got this team. He's
I'm
very
excited for Ocho versus Hayes. I want to see how Ocho actually stands up because I don't think he's very good. But
Somebody on the treadmill right
see
now?
how
What's
he
going on?
handles Hayes.
No, I'm just running to get a beer.
Okay. You should have told me it was a beer run, man. I would have paused the whole stream.
Whatever. Sorry, I didn't know about Jatavis.
Yeah, Jatavis. I didn't want to correct you. I figured chat would do it for me.
I couldn't
Was it
remember.
Justin? Was it Justin?
No, it was
He's usually good at correcting people.
Dim and pause, those little
No.
losers.
All right, that is the AFC. Let's go ahead and move on to the NFC, this is a perfect time for a little bit of an ad. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you follow the stream. And hell, if you want to go ahead and subscribe, feel free to do so. That's it for that one. Let's go ahead and move to the Giants. Giants, for the first time in
Boss, go to bed.
in Gridiron Throne history, actually have a decent user, and that's Mr. 3Mac with the 18th pick. Gets the New York Giants. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I think 3Mac will last longer than Minty. That's my first take on that team. Giants have a good team. I mean, they're young. They have a young quarterback, young running back. Giants are always, I honestly almost put them in my top 10 just because I wanted to try them out and see how they were. And but yeah, obviously the only worry I guess with the Giants is that you're gonna have, you have the Cowboys, you have the Eagles, which have a good squad, and then you probably have the Redskins, who have maybe better younger talent outside of, I guess, running back. But yeah, should be good. He's a good user, and I think he'll do good in New York.
First off, I want to say, Justin, your jokes are terrible. First off, but second, I'm happy for 3Mac. He got his favorite team. I don't think the Giants are very good. They'd probably be a bottom 5-10 team for me. Saquon is the only exciting part about this team, in my opinion. Other than that, I don't care about Daniel Jones. I don't care about any of the receivers. Evan Ingram's decent, but this just isn't a very fun team. I would expect, just based on the other teams, I want to see who gets the Redskins and the Cowboys, or I can see 3Mac running away with this division.
Still can see himself.
3Mac, so the Giants, that was actually 3Mac's number one team.
Yeah, I figured.
So-
It's his favorite team. He has to.
You don't have to, but clearly you didn't have to. You didn't put Steelers number one. Yeah, Steele's saying that 3Mac's going to run away with this division. Haven't even talked about the other three teams. But let's go ahead and move forward. I mean, nobody's really kind of mentioned this pick at all, so we'll just go ahead and move forward. Cowboys. Majority of people had Trevor. Is his name Trevor? Trevor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trevor, Rick.
Pretty much majority of people thought Trevor was going to
Rick!
pick the Cowboys with the 3rd overall pick, but I'm here to tell you that you are correct. It is Cowboys fan 1. Trevor got them with the 3rd overall pick, Dallas Cowboys. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
It was quite funny earlier, like I said, when Cowboys fan thought he was getting screwed out of the 3rd pick for Bird. Poor Bird was a casualty of the humor of the afternoon, but I know Trevor. I believe that was his top pick. Yeah, it was his top pick. So he's a huge Cowboys fan. Obviously, whenever you're picking your favorite team and you're getting them, you're probably going to enjoy Madden. So yeah, I think he'll enjoy it. He likes to run the football. When he passes, he does throw interceptions, but I think he'll be able to run with Zeke, and that O-line's still pretty solid. So yeah, so far shaping up to be a pretty good division.
Yeah, I like when users get their favorite team and kind of, I think, brings a little bit more of immersion and it makes people stay in the league a little bit longer. Not that any of these guys would leave or any reason for that, but it's pretty cool. I don't think he's got his team. He's been here for what, 2 or 3 Maddens now, and I don't think he's got to use the Cowboys yet. So that's pretty cool. Cowboys, I think they were one of my top 5 teams. They're just stacked across the board, and obviously EA blows them. So that's a really solid team all across the board.
Isn't that America's team, the Cowboys?
No. Stop that.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The Steelers are America's team.
Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the Washington team. I'm surprised nobody in chat has yelled at me yet for having the logo up for the Washington, formerly known as the Redskins. Nobody said anything, so I appreciate that. But the team that will be taking over the Washington TBDs to be determined is going to be a user I used to have to play in another league, and that's Mr. Alex K with the 26th overall selection. Gets the Washington team. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I don't really think I even know Alex, so I don't really have much to say about him.
Boom.
What about that Washington team?
In terms of Washington, I mean, Chase Young, obviously everybody seems to love him. I think he's kind of a lazy bum myself, but
we're talking about Madden.
Yeah, I don't know. They have a good team. Obviously, if Doom was able to take a bunch of scraps and turn it into a powerhouse, I'm sure Alex can probably do the same. So, yeah, I don't know. Good young talent. They have some young talent everywhere. Dwayne Haskins should be fun. Yeah, I don't know. Should be a fun team. Going to be tough though, because you're going against Mac and Cowboys fans. So should be a good division. Shaping up to be a good division. We'll find out who the Eagles are here shortly.
Yeah, I'm really hyped about the Redskins defense.
Whoa.
I don't think they're off. Oh, sorry. The Washington football team, I think, has a pretty solid defense. They, Sweat, and is Kerrigan still there, and Chase Young,
Deron Payne, good D-line.
Landon Collins, yeah, really good D-line. Troy Apke, Monte Nicholson are back there, Pittsburgh boys. The offense is kind of shaky. It depends on how you dev Haskins and Geis, but Terry McLaurin, really good receiver. Obviously, we saw what Cite did, and Doom just inherited his players and won Super Bowls with them. So, we'll see what happens with Alex. I know he's ecstatic for this team. He was down on himself for getting his 26, but I would imagine this is probably one of his top 5 or 10 teams, and he got them.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off here, CMass, but I think between Alex and Oos, they were the only teams, and Bird, only teams to have the Redskins in the top 10.
Leak.
So, sorry, the team from DC in their top 10. So, not a lot of love for the DC team, but yeah, I don't know. He got him. He wanted him and he got him. So, let's go, baby.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, and he seems super happy about it. I'd be happy too with the 26th pick to get this Washington team, to get an X Factor rookie in Chase Young, Sweat, who's just a beast. You mentioned all the names already. Troy Apke's obviously a super freak athlete. Yeah, it's a good team to get a 26 overall. He's super happy, and this division so far seems pretty solid, but nothing that is too amazing, except for this last user maybe. This last user's been with us since, I don't know, maybe day one, but this gentleman here, Mr. Steiger, with Mr. Steiger with the 19th overall selection, gets the Philadelphia Eagles. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I like Steiger. Oh, I'll just start with that. I think he's a great dude.
I love when you start off with he's a great guy.
But unfortunately, I just don't see him having a lot of fun in this division.
No.
He's got probably the second best team. I think we can all agree on that. So, but we did see some things
In this
out of him.
division or in Madden?
He's talking about in Madden.
In this division.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about
Okay.
this division in Madden.
Okay.
But the thing is that when he did get Deshaun Watson at the end of the last cycle in Madden, he really stepped it up. He beat some good teams and he was competitive. So, maybe he just, if he has a little bit of a better team to work with, he can use the tools that he has in front of him. So, Eagles have a pretty good team. They did lose a few guys, but for the most part, good quarterback. I don't know. This division's kind of intriguing. I think that there's a couple guys that could win this division in any given season. So, and how is Justin still up in chat? Like, isn't it past his bedtime? What time is it?
He's Western
past 9
time.
o'clock.
Sorry, he's Central time.
Central.
Oh, okay.
I think the Eagles, they're a pretty good team. They're one of those teams where like somebody has to talk me into taking them though.
Yeah.
You got Jalen Hurts, I guess, Carson Wentz, Miles Sanders. There's a bunch of like decent players that you either got to dev them up. There's a bunch of players that are good, but not that I would use. Their offensive line is probably pretty good. I like Steiger too. He plays his games. He gets everything done. He doesn't really talk too much in chat, but I just think it's tough. I think 3-Mac runs with this division. I think Cowboys fans, playoff user. He was playoff user year one, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think Steiger with that team could compete though for the second place, just because that team's pretty good.
Solid division here. Not like the AFC division so far, but the solid division here. I think people are starting to realize, though, I'm noticing in chat, that certain Super Bowl users haven't got a team yet. Do more
for
CT.
sure.
Haven't gotten. Haven't gotten teams yet. So there's still some good teams out there. So people are starting to realize if their name hasn't called, they're potentially probably gonna have to play those guys.
Sports junkie.
Sports junkie. Yeah.
He's lucky to have a team.
Doesn't have a team yet.
Let's move on to the NFC North. Starting off with the Detroit Lions. This guy, I think he's been wanting the Lions for a while, and he finally got him with the 14th overall pick, and that's Mr. Boz, the original Duck. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I feel like this is the first time I've ever in Madden in franchise have seen somebody decent take over the Lions. I feel like the Lions always just get the shittiest user ever, and they just suck more than they do in real life, which is hard to do. But Boz, I think he'll enjoy this team. He was throwing bombs with Mariota. Obviously, he won't be able to run that little read option bullshit that he liked to run with Tennessee, but Stafford would die if he did that. But I think he'll like them. They got, a lot of good young players, different areas. Stafford obviously can throw the football. Defense, a little crummy. I think that's maybe where it might hurt him a little bit, but Boss is a good user. He'll get that defense shaped up, and it's a good start to this division. Obviously a top tier user in this league, so.
Well, obviously, Starrbuck is blinded by Boz being good in a bad division. It just depends on team scheme and who else is in this division for Boz. No offense, the Lions are dumpster fire, and Okuda, like we said earlier, didn't get the attributes that he wanted, and Stafford's old. I think he's usable for a little bit, and you got Galladay and Kerryon Johnson and TJ Hawkinson. The offense isn't terrible, but Boz has never been a really offensive user, so we'll see how he goes and see who's in this division first before I say that he'll be competing for it.
Coach Boz has already said that Stafford will run the ball. We've already talked it through. Doom says someone let Starrbuck know about Stafford's read option game under Boz Wellington. So I guess we'll look for a read option in Detroit for Mr. Boz and getting his team. So he's pretty excited about that. Let's go ahead and move forward to another
Who's
NFC.
A-Flow?
A-Flow? I don't know.
Okay.
A-Flow, step up. Who the are you, bro? He did just follow for the first time today, so he may be fairly newer person for all I know.
Is this Anthology?
No, because Anthology is actually Anthology on Twitch, so that's a dead giveaway. Afflow. I don't know. You mentioned it's Gabble.
Gabble. How do you not know? This is your boy, Starrbuck.
I don't know. He went MIA. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Gabble is.
Starrbuck. Yeah, well, find new friends, man.
You think this dude's gonna win my division? You think this guy? I can't.
Man. All right, let's see who the.
Let's go ahead and move forward to the Vikings here. This person probably can't watch because he works night shifts. Good luck trying to schedule with him. He thought he had the 3rd overall pick. It turned out to be the 29th, and that's Mr. Bird. Gets the Minnesota Vikings. Not a terrible team. I think he'll be happy with this, but knowing him, he'll probably be pissed off. But Starrbuck, what are your thoughts?
Bird. Super guy, Dolphins fan, love him.
Super guy.
Super guy. Had his heart just broken.
Now here's
in
a guy.
Pieces. Million pieces this afternoon, thinking that he had the 3rd pick. But yeah, Vikings dropping to 29. How? Vikings have a good team. I mean, Kirk Cousins, real G, and then you got Thielen and you got Cook. Like they have a good team. I like them. The Vikings have a very good team. Anthony Barr is like the cheat code of linebackers. I don't know. Bird getting the Vikings at 29, that might be a blessing in disguise. I don't know.
Yeah, like Samoa said, the Vikings are very old, but I think really good. You got Harrison Smith, like you said. We didn't say Daniil Hunter, who's an athletic freak off the edge. Thielen, Dalvin Cook. There's a lot of players there. It just depends on how Bird decides to either develop or trade away. He does like to get rid of his picks and acquire some talent, so we'll see what he does. It's a perfect team for Bird to at least compete at first. He was always the 3rd fiddle with Ace and Doom in the NFC East last year, so we'll see how he does. I'm excited. If I was 29 and I got the Vikings, I'd be pretty excited.
I don't have
sure.
I don't have the official stat, but I would be safe to say that Bird owes the record for most 10-win seasons without making the playoffs.
100.
This guy seems to always get 10 wins and then somehow miss. Pretty ironic. So we'll see.
Tiebreakers too, not by losing by games, just tiebreakers.
But the most thing is Kirk Cousins is going to have to learn how to immediately slide to the right and throw bombs, because that's what Bird likes to do. And so let's see if Kirk Cousins can do that for him.
They got a rookie receiver too, didn't they? They got a pretty
Jefferson from LSU.
Yeah. So
solid team, not bad. Let's move forward to the Chicago Bears. The Bears are going to go ahead and take a team that was in this division last year with the Detroit Lions. He took over. About halfway through the year, it's going to be Mr. Hoop God Will with the 25th overall pick. It's the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
He played all his games. Yeah, he was the Lions last year, I believe. Yeah, Bears have a good team. They got a great team. I think they have a great team. I like the Bears. Guys, this is my time. This is my time, all right? This is my time.
I'm sick of him going first. You know what I'm saying?
He was one. I've given you time to digest the teams. Sorry, Starrbuck. I apologize.
Go ahead, Kamish.
The Bears are a good team. Damn it, I like the Bears. The Bears are great. They're a great team. They kind of look like a giant beaver, so I like the Bears. I think he'll do good. I think he'll do good there. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
I will say this. Will's another one of the guys that I brought in that I used to play with. He's a very good user. I'm pretty sure he is a Bears fan, so this isn't surprising that he took them.
Yeah.
They got a solid defense. Like Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, Fuller, Roquan, Allen Robinson's a superstar receiver. I don't think this is a bad team to get. I'm so far the way this division's shaping up. I think everybody's pretty competitive. I think this is a good team for Will.
I just can't believe that you had to silence ourselves down so you could tell us that the Bears look like a beaver and that's why you like them. I just can't get over that.
Stupid ass Canadian.
They do.
It started with, even typed in the chat, giant beaver.
Can you go to commercial break? I have to take a piss.
Yeah, so if you haven't done so already, make sure you take the time to go ahead and hit that little heart in the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's go ahead and follow the stream. That way it notifies you every single time the stream comes on. You don't miss a second of high-octane gameplay, big shots down the field, touchdowns all over the place. And hell, if you don't want to have to do the ads, go ahead and subscribe. Pay the money to subscribe. You'll be good for a month. Hey, if you got Twitch Prime, you don't have to pay anything. You just go ahead and subscribe and link the 2 accounts. You get a free one every single month. Use it on CMass or anybody else you want to. You good, P? Moving on to the Packers. I mean,
I hope this is doom.
It's not. This guy's been the same mother team since the dawn of time, and that's Mr. Tim with the 4th overall pick. Gets the Green Bay Packers again. Starrbuck. Everybody quiet down. Your thoughts?
Again, this is another guy who picked his top team. Kudos to him. He could have picked the Chiefs. He could have picked the Ravens. Could have picked a lot of teams, but he decided to take the Packers. Tim, we love you. You've been around forever. God bless your heart. But yeah, the Packers, they have a good team. Good young quarterback behind Rodgers. So if you wanted to trade him, which I don't think he will. He tends to not make a lot of trades and just let his players retire into the sunset. But yeah, they have a good team. I don't know. It's when you look at this division as a whole, obviously you're going to say Boz is the favorite. And then Bird is right there, but I think this should be a competitive division. I really do.
I have to respectfully disagree. I don't think Tim's gonna come close. I don't think he won more than 4 or 5 games. But
I think he went 500 a couple times.
Hey,
Okay.
he beat SJ, so that says a lot.
Yeah, take a number. Everybody's beating SJ in this league.
Right. Congrats.
We're all just lucky.
Yeah, we are. This is definitely one of my top 5 teams though too. Their defense is all there. They've both the Smiths, Jair Alexander, Darnell Savage, Kevin King, Devontae Adams, like you said, Jordan Love, Aaron Jones. They're stacked everywhere. No offense to Tim, if a better user had this team, I'd say they were going to win the division year 1. But I like the other 3. I think the other 3 are all around the same skill level. That it's going to be very interesting to see who wins this every year.
And I'm going to agree with the Steel on that one. This is definitely one of the divisions. We'll get more to the division talk towards the end, but definitely one of the ones that's kind of up in the air. And it could, Buck thinks it's going to be Boz, no doubt, but I think that Bird and Will could surprise him. Tim, while he's a user that is usually 500 or below, I gotta give a shout out to Tim. While he doesn't win a lot of games, he is definitely one of the best drafters I've seen. Dude always seems to pick guys that he develops so well. So big shout out to him for being able to draft well. Too bad he can't win. Let's move on to the NFC South. We mentioned this guy before. He's the unluckiest user in the league, and now he's going to be taking over a team that's also unlucky, especially in the Super Bowl. And that's Mr. Sports Junkie with the 11th overall selection against the Atlanta Falcons. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
I don't know. Is it Sports Junkie or is it his cousin playing this year? I don't know who it is. But if it is Sports Junkie, I think you'll expect to see a lot of excuses and a lot of lucky plays and different things that go on. But I think you'll like the Falcons. Obviously, the Falcons. You're a big Falcons fan. He got a pretty high pick, obviously, taking the Falcons where he got them. Talent, obviously, Matt Ryan's getting a little bit old, but you're getting Gurley, you're getting Julio Jones. I mean, he loves to bomb the ball and do, the cheesy things that he likes to do. So, yeah, I think he'll enjoy that team, and maybe he'll do better than the last Falcons user. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll see.
Ouch. Hey,
Can't
perennial
do
playoff
worse.
user, made it to a couple Super Bowls, didn't win any, but yeah, it's pretty solid Madden.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons are a okay squad. I mean, like Buck said, you got a lot of older players on offense, and you got a decent, squad who you're gonna resign. You got Keanu and Dayon,
Dayon.
but I thought Doom was actually gonna get the Falcons. I'm sad for him, but I just don't put Sports Junkie with this team. It's just not a team I feel like he would use. So I don't know how he'll do. It's kind of depends on who the other three teams are.
And we will find that out shortly. It was sad to see my team get taken by a user. Call me unlucky, I suppose. Doom, RIP, he says he's going to go off himself now. Because Boz still using jokes from last Madden. Good for you, Boz. I appreciate that. I get your inside joke. Let's move on to the next team.
Is there a team that's you do see Sports Junkie play with though? Like what's the team that you see him
Ravens.
using?
It's
When I think
it's a
Sports
mobile
Junkie, I think
quarterback
Ravens.
that he can
Just yeah.
Yeah, he's gotta have some kind of mobile quarterback.
All right, fair enough.
Moving on to the next team in the NFC South, and that's going to be the Carolina Panthers. This is another team that fell pretty far, in my opinion. Now, Sports Junkie is pretty happy with the fact that he doesn't have to play Cam anymore because Cam's already been announced. But unfortunately, he's going to have to play somebody that trained Cam and is better than Cam, and that's Mr. Cite, who got him with the 32nd pick.
Ooh, no.
Carolina Panthers to Cite.
32.
Buck, your thought.
Well, the people that are watching this stream right now, especially the teams that haven't been picked, that may have, wanted the Buccaneers and may have wanted the Saints, have fun. That's all I got to say. I can't believe this is a team, the Panthers, that fell this far, 32. Like they have a lot of decent young players. I mean, they had a good draft. They got, McCaffrey. They have a good team. I don't know. I was really surprised. I think this was the biggest shock to me for teams that dropped. And then, of course, CT is going to get them, and I'm happy that he's in the NFC. So, enjoy. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, there's one user that, I've played Doom a billion times, so I don't really mind playing Doom. But CT was the one user I didn't really want to play. He's got cheese at receiver. He's got the best running back in the game. Like I said, I'm surprised that this team fell. The defense, they're there. There's a bunch of players that need devved up, but they all have this speed and excel and the Madden, physical attributes that you need to be good. And that D line is going to be one of the best D lines with Gross and Morgan and Burns, Kwan Short. That's a great D line right there.
Yeah, I think people are going to be pissed off that he got the Panthers. I mean, that's a fantastic team to get. I mean, we talked about the Washington football team having a great young D-line. This team, too. You mentioned a couple names with Burns, Derek Brown, Kwan Short, and then Gross Montos coming out of Penn State. Dante Jackson, tons of cheese on offense. This is going to be a team to reckon with in the NFC. But let's go ahead and move on to the rest of this division. The New Orleans Saints gets a fairly new user that Steele just keeps calling Rams for whatever reason, but his name is actually Dunder. With the 15th overall pick, Dunder gets the Saints. Buck, your thoughts?
We brought Dunder in late in the season. I played some Mutt with him, so yeah, he's a good user. I think when you look at the Saints team, they were actually my 10th team, I believe, on my list. So yeah, Saints are intriguing. Drew Brees has got a ton of abilities. I think in terms of Madden, between him and Brady, they're probably two of probably the most intriguing quarterbacks to be, just because they have so many abilities. Alvin Kamara, you have Michael Thomas, who's a little bitch, but he's still pretty good. And then they have a pretty good defense. LaShawn Lattimore, Cameron Jordan. So yeah, they got a good team. Unfortunately, this division's going to run through the big man on the left. So yeah, I think he'll enjoy that team. Very similar to the Rams that he had last year. So at least he's got a name, and his name is Dunder. So
Yeah, I just couldn't remember. I don't. I think he has a really good team. It's gonna be in cap hell after a little bit, maybe, depending if you can't manage that Madden cap. But yeah, I think they're the highest overall team in Madden.
Yes, correct.
So it starts off really good. It's just I don't see anybody really competing with CT right off the bat, even if you have that good of a team. I thought, what Thunder started off, I think like 3-1 or 4-1 in one of the last two seasons. So, if he can keep that up, then I can see him at least competing for second, depending on who the Buccaneers is. But um, he got a good team. That's all. I didn't really know Thunder too much.
I hate to do this, but I have to because he gave me money. Shout out to Justin subscribing with Twitch Prime for the next 2 months. Justin, I appreciate it. Subscribing to the stream. You could use your Twitch Prime sub on anybody. You chose to use it on me. I appreciate it. Dunder gets the best team overall in Madden, so good for Dunder to get them to the 15th overall pick. Let's move forward to the last team in the NFC South. This person was panicking, trying to trade him away. Ends up keeping him.
Yeah,
A brand new Tampa Bay fan, and that's Mr. Kumar with the 2nd overall pick. Gets the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know what, Steele? Go ahead and go first.
This is a perfect team for Kumar. He's an offensive-minded user. He's got Godwin and Evans and Rojo and Gronk and obviously Brady and Howard. You can just keep going on. If there is somebody to beat CT year one, it'll be Kumar with this offense. The game might be 56-49, but I think Kumar could hang with CT and beat him in the first year of the division. It's just, that defense, Shaquille Barrett kind of got hoed. Devin White, you can't really use her that much. And who do they have? Remind me. Is it Sean Murphy Bunting? Is that the one they have?
Yeah.
That's kind of the only defensive players that, off the top of my head, that you really can think about. I mean, you have Levante David, who has a lurker, but it'll be exciting to see Kumar and CT play each other. I honestly think if Kumar, since he has the better offense to start off with, I think he can counter CT if he learns what he likes to do. This is actually one of the good users that I want to see in a division with CT.
Steele, I think you're out of your goddamn mind. I think Kumar is going to absolutely get dropped by CT. I don't even think it's going to be close. I don't know. Obviously, Kumar getting, the Buccaneers, the only user in the history of Madden franchise to bitch and complain about getting the 2nd overall pick, would be Kumar. But yeah, I mean, the Bucs have a great team. They're probably they're going to be a fun team to manage because you got so much young talent. And obviously he's got, probably, dozen posters in his room of Tom Brady, and probably stares at him. He's probably staring at him right now. But yeah, I don't know. He should enjoy the Buccaneers. Fun team. Obviously he's not a Bucs fan. He's a Patriots fan. If I go through his list of teams, the Patriots, I don't even see them on his list. I think he actually didn't even include them on his list. So I don't know what type of Patriots fan this guy is. But in any case, yeah, that should be a competitive division. I think you have Sports Junkie, who is just crazy offensive minded. I don't know, just he's a different user altogether. We all know that. Dunder, obviously, good user, new to the league. Cite, pretty good, and yeah. So, anyways, it should be a good division. I think it's kind of a unique division because I think everybody has a different style of play.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Should be a fun one to watch here in the NFC South, but let's go ahead and move on to the very last division, NFC West. 4 users have been waiting patiently to hear their names called. They're about to. With the 49ers and the 8th overall selection, that'd be Mr. Ryan. Gets those 49ers, the 8th pick. Great team at 8. Starrbuck, what are your thoughts?
The 49ers were a top team on a lot of people's cards. I mean, and deservedly so. They have a really exciting defense. Bosa is very young. He's probably going to be one of the best defensive ends in football. If not, he already is. Yeah, they got an exciting team. Fred Warner's got a few abilities at linebacker, so he got a little bit of love this year in Madden. So yeah, I think the 49ers have a really good team. They were high up on my list. I was kind of excited to use them just because of their defense, but yeah, fun team to use. The 8th team. They were the number 1 team on his list, so he had them ahead of the Chiefs and the Ravens. So kudos to him. He got the team he wanted.
Yeah, I mean the Niners, they got that stable of running backs. I would trade obviously 2 of them at least, and yeah, have the defense like you said. Their whole D line is, I'm pretty sure, all ability or star dev or really high. The Niners are one of the top teams to start with, and Ryan got very lucky to get them. I can't remember the other 3 users that are left. I know Doom and Justin. I don't know who the last one is, but it sucks that Doom's at least in your division. But it's nice to at least have a good team to start off with to play Doom.
Yeah, like I said, great team for Ryan again here at 49ers. Let's go ahead and move on to the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of surprised they fell this far. And the fact that you're going to let somebody who won the Super Bowl so many times get Kyler Murray is shocking. But it didn't happen. Actually, with the first overall pick, that was Justin. Most people have forgotten about him. But Justin, you can go to bed now. You got the Arizona Cardinals. Justin gets the Cardinals with the first overall pick. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
When I was looking at the list order, the Cardinals, I think a lot of people kind of slept on them. They didn't really realize how good the Cardinals were. And when I'm looking through the lists, if Justin wouldn't have got picked, I could have got the Arizona Cardinals. So I have a vendetta against Justin already. So that's strike 1. But yeah, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray's got a bunch of abilities. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You got future Hall of Famer and Kenyon Drake, ex-Miami Dolphin. I mean, they have a good team. They're young. They're going to be exciting. Kyler Murray is amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Great team, good pick, and just goes to show that GIT does not have bias towards the lottery draft. Anybody can win it. So kudos to Justin.
When I first started doing teams, I put the Cardinals first, but then I started bumping them down a little bit. Not in this list, but just off the top of my head. I think if a user that can really dev a team gets the Cardinals, they'd be pretty good. But like after Buck said, you have Kyler and DeAndre and Christian Kirk, but the defense, you really only have Butta Baker and
Butta.
And you only have Isaiah.
Smooth like Butta Baker.
And you have Isaiah, but if user is still nerfed, Isaiah kind of like cuts down a little bit. The Cardinals are really good. They have a bunch of good, flashy names, but there's not that whole team where I would take them over like a Niners or a Chiefs or a Ravens or something like that.
Interesting thoughts from both of you. Justin surprised he got the Cardinals. I think he messed up his list. I'm just kidding. Anthology says S-Buck talking so much trash for someone who won't see the playoffs. Interesting.
Oh shit.
Interesting. But Justin with the first overall pick somehow, I think he had like, what was he, like number 21 or something like that? Something crazy.
21 he was.
Yeah, and got the first pick. But
How does he get the first pick at 21? And the person with the second most balls had the 24th pick?
yeah, it's weird. That's how the lottery works sometimes, especially when using a dirty ass bucket. Let's go ahead and move on to
That was a dirty bucket.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I mixed drywall and or plaster and freaking cement in it.
Oh,
Wow.
Justin, I know you were kidding. I was also kidding. Take it easy.
So we have 2 users.
We got 2
These are the
users
last 2
left,
users.
and let's see who got the cap hell, which is the
Gabble.
LA Rams, and that would be Mr. Gable with a 30th overall team. Sorry, 30th overall selection gets the LA Rams. Starrbuck, your thoughts?
This is my second, I guess, between this and the Panthers. I think this is the biggest surprise, in my opinion, seeing a drop. I think the Rams, like, they're good from a Madden perspective. Yeah, there's gonna be some cap issues, but when you look at their team, you got Aaron Donald, you got Ramsey, you got Jared Goff, Cooper Kupp. I mean,
You could
they
stop at
have
Goff.
weapons. They have a good team. I mean, I don't know. I just think that when you look at some of the teams like the Bills and well, I mean the Bills are good, but I just hate the Bills. But when you look at teams like the Bengals, Redskins, or sorry, Washington, I mean the Rams are a good squad. I think for them to fall to 30 to Gabble, yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good team for him. I think he'll enjoy that team.
See, this is why teams drop, because there's so much different. Like me and Starbuck have completely different views on this. The LA Rams, I don't think are a very good Madden team. You have obviously 99 overall Donald, and you got Ramsey. But outside of that, like in Madden wise, Cooper Kupp's not a Madden receiver that you would take. Rushawn or Robert Woods isn't a receiver that you would take. Jared Goff isn't a quarterback that you would take. Cam Akers, I could see being a running back that you'd want to use. But the Rams just lack talent, and I don't think they have their first round pick either. So you're just not getting those young guys that make you excited about being in a CFM for 5-6 years with this team. That's why I can see the Rams dropping to 30.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Rams fan. I think they were besides the Saints and the Bucks, my least favorite team. Moving on to if you're good at process of elimination, there's only one person left, and that's Mr. Doom. With the 21st pick for him to get the Seattle Seahawks, I think was a good win for him. Starbuck, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Doom got a pretty good team at 21. I had the Seahawks actually as my 9th team on my list. So Russell Wilson, basically, I don't know, he's probably better than Lamar Jackson, to be honest, in terms of Madden from last year. Better passer. I think escape artist, the way that it's going to work, he's going to be just as quick as Lamar. So, he's going to have better receivers and that defense with Bobby Wagner. And I don't know. Obviously, this division, in my opinion, I don't think Doom could have got an easier division to play against. This is honestly, I honestly think, and might be a hot take, but he honestly could beat these guys with his eyes closed. He really could.
Yeah,
So.
Doom's kid's going to be playing a lot of these games. That's the only thing that sucks about, like, no offense to Ryan and Justin, but they're like the second or third tier users. When Doom has to go again, when these guys get like top 10 picks and Doom's in your division, it's just, Chris Carson's not his type of running back. I go see him trying to trade for one of the speedy guys. After that, his offense is, pretty much set, and it's done. The NFC as a whole is pretty weak, and this shaped up really good though. At least Doom and CT will be some good, exciting games, but Doom's got a perfect team for him. An escape artist quarterback, speedy receivers, a cheesy defense. This is a very good team for Doom.
Griffin twins on defense. Obviously Russell Wilson, but DK Metcalf to Doom. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's Chark Jr. I mean, him and Chark.
It's
Probably
Chark
have the
Senior.
same
Have you seen how
exact-
big Metcalf is? Jeez.
True.
But
Yeah, it's just-
Justin's a little
honestly, this
offended,
is-
even though you said no offense, which you would think that would mean that you shouldn't take offense to it. But Justin's offended. He says he's going to bring
It's
out
like,
the cheese.
Yeah, babies learning how to walk, and then there's doom. Like, this is how this division looks like.
Oof.
It just, I don't know.
I bet
Anyways.
I would go out on a limb and bet $100 that Doom wins 100 to 20 in the 2 games he plays against Justin.
Wow.
Mm.
I mean, I probably would agree with you. It's
You
I don't
think
know.
Justin
It's-
scores
I
20
just-
points? Just kidding.
In 2 games, yeah, maybe.
I don't think so. I don't know. Regardless, like I said, good thing that there's 7 teams that can make the playoffs. You know, basically it's a fight for second in this division. May the best man win.
All right, let's go to the division.
Let's go to the recap. Got the recap on the screen for both of you. Give it a second for the stream to catch up, but it's broken down NFC on the left side, AFC on the east side. We're going to go through divisions and your predictions, and you can say if you think that they could be a playoff user, but I'm really looking for division winners. If you want to say they can get the 5th, 6th, or 7th seed, that's perfectly fine too. But we're going to go ahead and start with the NFC East, which is in the top left-hand corner. Giants, 3-Mac. Washington team, Alex K. Cowboys fan 1. And then Eagles, Steiger. Let's start with Steele. Steele, who do you think wins that division?
I think 3-Mac takes it. I think he learned at the end, the wiggle stick of Madden 20, and he's going to just ride Saquon to the end.
Yeah, I definitely think that Cowboys fan is going to win that division. I just think the Cowboys have a better team. He's going to have a much easier, go about it, especially year 1. And I just think Cowboys fans going to be primed to make the playoffs and win that division.
I think season 1 will probably go to Cowboys fan, but once YouTube kind of catches up with the trends, then 3-Mac will go ahead. And once he watches those few videos, he'll be able to go ahead and pretty much take the divisions after that. Moving on to the NFC North. Reminder, that's Lions with Boz, Packers with Tim, who would have thought, Will with the Bears, and then Bird with the Vikings. Start off with Starrbuck this time. Starrbuck, who do you think wins that one?
You know what?
Uh-oh.
I think Tim's going to win the division.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, all right. That's it.
Boot him.
Tim, this is for you, Tim. Tim, you need to win something. Do it for the children.
Oh my God.
All right. After that debauchery, to me, it's between Will and Bird. I would say if Boz was any of the other 3 teams, I think he would win that division. But if Will's invested, I think Will wins it. If not, it's Bird. I know it's a cop-out taking, one of 2 users, but it's just hard to say if Will's going to be invested or not.
I am going to go with, this is not similar to the NFC East as far as the YouTube's concerned, but I feel like season 1's going to be Will. And then after that, I think Boz, once he actually gets that team just developed up just enough for him to put the controller down on defense, I think he'll be fine. So I think Will to start. Yeah, I think Will to start, and then Boz in the future. So that's good. I just want to recap. You said Bird, Steele?
I said Will.
You said Will. I'm sorry.
I think Will year 1.
I'm writing it down so we can laugh at it later. And the one, Tim for Starrbuck, we're laughing at it now, but I'll definitely laugh.
I mean,
I'm gonna laugh at it later
wins it.
later tonight when I'm reading this.
Yeah, good luck.
Let's move on to the NFC South. We'll go with Steel first this time. Falcons, SJ, Panthers, CT. We'll go through this one quickly, probably. Saints, Thunder, and Buccaneers. Kumar. Steel, what do you think?
Kumar. You guys, I've played with Kumar for a long time, and I think when his offense is at the top, he's just too hard to stop. And I think this Panthers defense just isn't good.
What? Okay, sorry.
At first, I think it's a very good devable defense. I just don't think it's a very good defense to start with.
Hmm. I play a lot of MUT, see a lot of things, and after CTA left the league, I seen him go 25-0 in weekend league in MUT. So you get your one. He's one of the top, 100 players in this game. So I'm gonna
That's in like
say
November though. Like
the
it's
second
not day
place
one.
team in this division will be Kumar. It's a fight for second. Kumar will win that fight, make the playoffs. I think that's best case scenario for Kumar in this division.
I am going to agree with Steele on this one. CT, I think. I mean, the fact that defense. I mean, even though they're technically the overall is not that high, half a season and they're going to be good. So I definitely say CT wins that division, and I think he wins it until he leaves. Let's move on to the NFC West. We'll start with Steele first. 49ers, Ryan. Seahawks with Doom. Rams, Gabble. Cardinals, Justin. And I swear to mother...
Can you just skip this one? We already know.
I didn't think we'd
Yeah,
need to talk about Tim in the NFC North, but Buck had to talk about it. So, Buck?
Short and sweet. Doom. That's it.
It's men amongst giants. It's Doom.
Men amongst giants.
I've never heard that.
I think you meant
This must be a
giant among
Canadian
men
thing.
or something. Anyways.
Men amongst boys.
Beaver against rat.
There you go.
They're giant beavers. Let's move.
What's this about?
So let me ask you this before we move for the AFC. So we talked about division winners. Who do you think? You can name one or two teams that you think would be wild card teams, and I'll start off with Starrbuck.
In the NFC?
Yes.
I think wild card teams, when you're looking at the wild card teams, I would say probably there'd be three, right? So we're looking at 3 Mac. I think he'd be one wild card team. I think Bird finally makes his due. He gets in. And I would probably have to say Kumar is the other wild card team getting in.
Overall, the NFC is so weak. It hurts me. Yeah, Cowboys fan for sure. Like I said, he went to the playoffs, and I think he won a playoff game year one, which is kind of crazy. Kumar definitely. I mean, Kumar Site is going to be in the NFC South. I'll give it to. I'll say Boz or Bird. I don't know. That's my other two. I definitely don't think it's anybody from the NFC West. So
That's fair.
just
NFC West, holy.
it's
Lots
just
of
so
love over
bad.
there.
The NFC West is just so bad.
Yeah, minus the one team, obviously. All right, let's move on to the AFC, which I think we all agree is the more stacked conference, at least looking at it today.
It is so deep.
Talk about the AFC East. Patriots got Oz. Bills gets Cameroon. Jets gets. Do we continue to call him Black David, or can we just call him David now? I don't think we have another David here, but Black David for now.
Yeah.
And then Dolphins, who is Samoan boy. Starrbuck, what do you think wins that division?
Dolphins, easily. That's, no question. Dolphins always win that division, so that's just the way it is.
I see Josh Allen on the Bills for at least one season, so the Bills win that division.
I'm going to agree with Mr. Steele on this one. It hurts to say it. But I'm going to go with Cam.
That's all you've done is agree with me.
Wow.
That's not true. I agree with Buck sometimes.
Right, my terrible takes. Terrible takes, but you agree with me. That's cool.
Let's move on to the AFC North. Ravens gets Zach P again for the second season in a row. Browns gets our new commissioner. Bengals with Anthology, and then Steelers with Steele. Who would have thunk it? Steele, I mean, do you think you're going to take this one?
Hell yeah. Big Ben all day.
Oh, God.
At least for one
Kids know
season.
what's happening down at Three Rivers. Big Ben going to lead us to that division. Let's go.
Yeah, I honestly, you can't get suspensions in Madden, so I would say Myles Garrett, take your helmet off and have a day. Have a day.
So I'm guessing you're picking yourself.
Yes, I'm picking myself.
All right, and then I am going to agree with not Steele. I'm going to say that Starrbuck wins this division. No
Joe
offense, Steele.
Hayden's locking down OBJ. That's all that matters.
I mean,
Oh my God.
there's other players on the team. I mean, Njoku, Hooper,
He's got 94
Landry,
speed.
Nick Chubb.
Joe Hayden's probably got like 80.
Joe Hayden's got
94
84 speed.
No.
Jeez.
Joe Hayden does not have 94 speed. Anyways,
Didn't he retire?
Fuck out of here. No, Joe.
I mean, his mind retired, his body's still playing. AFC.
I'm just pissed that me and you gotta play again. That's all. I want to play new people.
I know. I feel you.
It is what it is. You all become better for it. Moving on to the AFC South, we got Titans who got Noah's Ark. Texans, Greg Time. Colts got Cody Crazy. And then Jaguars with myself. Steele, we'll start off with you. Who do you think wins this division? Don't be wrong.
My heart wants to say Jags. My head's just gonna say Cody because for some reason he thinks the Colts are good. So I'm gonna give Cody because I do think he's a little bit better of a user than CMass.
Oof.
And he has a whole year to at least dev this shitty ass team. So I think Cody wins it, but not by much.
Starrbuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that I think this division's gonna go through Greg time, especially season 1, and it's because of the quarterback. I like the quarterback play. Deshaun Watson, he gets a escape artist quarterback. I think that's gonna be huge. I really do. I think Greg Time's gonna have a fun time with that team. So CMass until you get that team rolling, I just season 1's gonna go to Greg Time.
And I agree with neither of you for the first time for this section. I'm a little disappointed in both of you. I was ready to feel the love, but I didn't get any of it. I was ready to pull out the Connor groan, but neither one of you picked me, so it's a little disappointing. Let's just go ahead and move to the AFC West before I start crying. Raiders with JB, Chargers with Ocho somehow, Chiefs with Ace somehow, and then Broncos with his special video, Mr. Minty. We'll start off with Steele this time. Who do you think wins this one?
Me?
Are you Steele or are you, yeah? We'll go. Let's go with Starbuck then, since Steele's pissing his pants
I
right
was
now.
reading chat. I'm so bad.
I mean, this division, in my opinion, I think this is a pretty good division. I really do. But obviously, I'm gonna have to go with Ace. Ace is gonna clean this division up. I don't even think it's gonna be close, to be honest. I think he's gonna have, a 13-14 win season. So it's gonna be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree with. I think Ace is just too cheesy. Even if he doesn't have the YouTube, I think Ocho has a just as good team to counter the Chiefs, but I think Ace is just very good, and he's gonna win that division.
Oh, dude.
Y'all sleeping on my boy JB, and I will continue to sleep on him as well. I'm gonna go with Ace here. I think that Ocho, I think he has a great shot too, and I wouldn't sleep on him. But at least for now, just because that Chiefs team is just so damn stacked, I'm gonna say that Chiefs gets that division. Going to chat. Shout out to Oz for saying CMass is going to be the surprise team out of the AFC. Although I take that almost as a slight, that would be a surprise team, but it is what it is. All right, same thing we did for NFC. You can name a couple teams, 1, 2, or 3 if you want, as far as who you think could get wild card out of the AFC. We'll start off with Starrbuck again. Starrbuck, who you got?
I've had time to dissect the AFC, obviously, because I'm going to be playing in it. I think the AFC East, I don't think you're going to see a wild card come out of that division, mainly because I feel like everybody is going to beat the absolute hell out of each other in that division. I think whoever wins the division is going to get in the playoffs. Don't see a wild card coming out of that. AFC North, I mean, I think it's going to be between me and Steele. I think Anthology is pretty shit. I don't see him doing what he can do. Maybe the Ravens can get in. AFC South, I think Greg Time Cody season 1. I think once you get the Jags rolling, I think that's when I'm going to see Greg Time fall back a bit, CMass come up. AFC West, honestly, that team could have 3 teams coming out of the wild card.
What?
I think that team, that division there, I'm saying that division there, I think that is an interesting division. I really do. I think that could be a team, that division could have 2 wild cards come out of that division. It's going to happen. Write it down.
Minty or JB?
Well, not Minty,
Oh,
but you're gonna
So
have JB and Ocho.
JB's going to start off 6-0 and then finish 6-10.
JB and Ocho. I'm
JB
telling
has
you,
never made a
that
playoffs in Git history.
he is making the playoffs this year. I will send him down one of my nice cigars when he does, and we'll have a Twitch smoke off. It'll be awesome.
Okay.
All right, Steele. Educate him.
We need a new commissioner. We got a new commissioner? There's no way. Honestly, I don't think JB is a terrible user, but he is not making the playoffs because the AFC is just so deep. I think Samoa finally got over the hump this year against Cam, that he's going to get a little bit of a motivational, and he's definitely going to at least beat. I think he'll split a lot of the games with Cam. He's definitely making the wild card, and Oz is still a really good user. That he doesn't make mistakes. That I think one of those two are making the wild card out of just because. And then I think Starrbuck will make the wild card just because. No offense to Zach and Anthology, I don't know him. He's gonna have a way easier division. And then it's kind of down to Ocho. At least year one, I don't think CMass
Ouch.
will have the good enough defense. I think he'll have the wins. It's just I think Greg time comes to play more than I think JB and Minty do. Nothing against you, CMass. It's more that I've always heard this hype about Greg time and he's so good and he's in these money leagues. And I think that, maybe he beats you. And I'm not looking obviously at the schedule, but no offense to JB and Minty, but you can't start the season 6-0 and end 6-10 and be called a playoff user. It just doesn't happen that way.
I've played Greg Time quite a few times and I've never lost to him. So, a little disappointed, but I know it's new Madden, so we'll see. All right, moving on. That is your playoff predictions. I'm not going to do Super Bowl. It's too soon for that. We'll do that maybe in the first podcast. But that is your Madden 21 team reveal show. I'm going to post this little screen that you see right now into the announcement so you can look back later. We're going to do a little bit of closing thoughts. And the closing thoughts can be whatever you want them to be as long as they're appropriate. I'm looking at you, Steele. Starrbuck, you can go ahead and start. Well, your closing thoughts for this stream and maybe thoughts moving forward.
You know what? I want to thank you for this stream. This is, and everybody involved. We have 16 users now watching the stream. So obviously, a lot of bedtimes at 11 Eastern, but we had up to about 35 people in. So it's good. This league is meant for everybody. And everybody, we want everybody to have fun. That's what it's all about. You got to have fun. There's some banter, obviously not sports junkie banter, but we need some banter in here. It's fun. But yeah, I think the AFC is stacked as shit, and honestly, it's gonna be fun. I think everybody's looking forward to Madden.
Steele?
All right. Yeah, I agree with Starrbuck. I think the AFC is. I'm really excited about that AFC East. I'm excited about some of the matchups. I like to see Cody versus CMass in that Streamer Bowl.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to put both our cameras on the same screen playing.
Something like you have to talk as Cody and he has to talk as you during the game. That'd be pretty cool.
Would you say that'd be crazy?
I like that. Crazy. I like to see the NFC North. I think there's crazy divisions. I can't believe a lot of the same users are playing the same people. That's just weird how it turned out that way. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Kumar.
Big shout out to both my co-hosts for joining me today. Shout out to Steele for the lottery show this morning. Shout out to Starrbuck for taking over the league. Hopefully he'll take it over like Jimmy Johnson took over the Cowboys and took them to the Super Bowl. Because the team's already set up for you, so don't this up. Shout out to everybody. I mean, like Starrbuck was saying, I think we capped out around 35. It might have been a little bit more than that. So that means pretty much everybody was watching, if my math is correct. I'll have to double check with Justin on the math. Really appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate everybody that subbed. Alex with the gifted sub. Zach, Justin, Exciting Bike, everybody that subbed and followed. I really appreciate it. And there'll be more streams to come. And we got about a month now to talk about our teams and shit talk before the season starts. And that's going to close it out for us today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night.